Very excited and expecting us. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Caitlin.
Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where people are located across the place, the world.
Caitlin, you're in Chicago. I'm in Los Angeles, and everyone tuning in, welcome. Let us know where you are from. Let us know what your cats' names are. If you have cats or dogs, you can see, my dog napping right there behind on the little chair, just snoozing away, ready for yoga. Thank you for tuning in. This is our monthly Feline Good class. It's a yoga with cats class organized by Basepaws. For those of you who don't know, Basepaws, I have our little product here. We are a cat health company, and we created the first at-home DNA test for cats. It's a little cheek swab that you send back in this box, send it back to our lab, and then in 4 to 6 weeks, you get results. They're all digital, and the results will tell you about your cat's breeds, and then also their health. So health predispositions, genetic health markers. And we just launched our new product, which looks very similar to this, but it's about dental health. So dental health is a really, really important, in fact, based on our service, the most important health issue that all cat parents are facing. The problem is your cat's teeth may look good, but there's stuff hiding underneath their gums, things that even a dentist or veterinary dentist can't see without an x-ray or a test. So basepaws.com, we are organizing this event every month because we want to bring you closer to your cats. And Caitlin, she's donating her time. This is the second time she's leading this amazing Cats and Yoga event. Caitlin, do you want to tell our audience just a little bit about you? I have your website up, and then just so everyone knows, this is a charity event. So Caitlin is donating her time, and all of the proceeds that we got from you guys buying tickets, thank you so much. They will be donated to the Catcade, a local Chicago, Caitlin is from Chicago, cat cafe. And Caitlin got one of her cats from there.
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Caitlin. As Nadia mentioned, I'm currently in Chicago. I've got 2 cats. One is Tuna, who we got at the Catcade not too long ago. Catcade is a lovely little organization here in the city. They rescue cats from all over the place. And pre-pandemic, you could go in and hang out for about an hour and just kind of love on all the cats that they had there as an open little community. So hopefully they'll be open up soon safely if all goes well over the next however long. But yeah, getting Tuna there, they're close to my heart, that's for sure. And then Jackson, I've had for a little bit longer. I got him before I moved to Chicago. So you may see them running around. They also just had their afternoon snack here, so they may be a little sleepy, but who knows? Sometimes they'll just run around and get the afternoon zoomies. So we'll see.
Last time during the class, so in April, they made an appearance during the class. I think, was it Tuna that made an appearance?
She usually likes to pop in and say a little hello and then scoot.
Love it. And Caitlin, I don't know if you can see all the comments. I love people.
Yeah.
People are from all over Western Colorado with Harry, Houdini, and Winky, adopted with one eye. We've got people from all over. Some of these names, Porcelina or Porcelina from Iowa, and then Coco out of Fresno, California, Smitty from Long Island. Hi, we're so glad you guys are all here. Caitlin, what can we expect before I hop off and let you do the magic?
Yeah, so we have about 55-ish minutes, give or take, together. So as the class mentioned, it's a beginner class, but it's here for everybody. So whether it's your first class or your 1000th class, hopefully everybody can get a little something out of it. I'll give lots of options along the way to, again, find what works for you in Iowa, and for somebody in New Jersey, and for somebody in with me in Chicago, whatever it is. With that being said, I am also 27 weeks pregnant, so I've got a little bean growing. It's not quite little anymore, actually, but growing with me. So my practice will definitely look different than some of yours. So if you see me doing something that's not necessarily what I'm saying to do. Just again, kind of feel out. Thank you, Sarah. Feel out what works for you in your body. So that is, thanks, Beth. What I'm here to do is, again, just kind of find what works for you. And again, I'll give you option 1 and option 2 and option 3. And if you like number 2 the best, hang out there. That's what we'll do.
Great. We are going to listen to what you're saying, look at what you're doing, and we will regroup at the end of the class. I'm going to hop off. Thank you, Caitlin. And everyone, let's do this.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, everybody. Happy Saturday, Catterday, if we'd like to call it that. Again, I am Caitlin. I will be leading us through our little kind of flow today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back up. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to back up to get onto my mat. I've got a couple of blocks. If you have blocks, great. If you don't worry about it. If you've got a pillow or something comfortable just to sit on top of, I'm a big fan of making things as comfortable as possible, really. So if you've got a pillow, 36 weeks, awesome. Thanks, Lindsay. We can, I'll throw out something specifically for you too along the way. I'm going to back up to sit on my mat. If you guys need to grab some water at any time, grab some water. Again, do what works and feels good today. Let's do it. So yogis, when you get on to your mat, I'm going to say find a comfortable seated position. So again, if that's on a pillow, awesome. If that's on a block or two, great. If you really want to lay down, right, go for it. Don't let me stop you from, again, just kind of finding what feels best to you right here. I'm going to offer to bring your eyes to a close kind of right away. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, maybe just a soft gaze kind of right on up the tip of your nose. And again, as we kind of move throughout our practice today, as I say, if your eyes are to a close or if there's a point where you can't quite see me, right, that's okay. I trust that, again, my cues will be good enough there for you to, again, just kind of listen and do what works for you. So if your eyes are to a close, just kind of let your hands rest right on top of your knees, maybe right on top of your thighs. And in this first, we'll just kind of taking a little inventory of your body, right? Maybe noticing if your hips are feeling a little bit tight today, or maybe there's kind of some extra tension, maybe in your shoulders, whatever it is, yogis, right? There's no judgment. It's just an acknowledgement of where you're at here today. And right away, let's take a big breath in. Lift your shoulders all the way on up by your ears. Kind of give them this little squeeze at the top. And a big exhale, let it go as they fall down your back. We're going to do that 2 more times, just like that. So again, inhale as you lift your shoulders, kind of give them that little squeeze. Maybe again, hold on to any extra tension. And a big exhale, do again, let it all go. One more time, just like that. As you breathe in, maybe it's again that little squeeze, that pause at the top as your shoulders rise. And a bigger exhale as they slide together and again down your back. And as we stay here for an extra moment, hopefully, right, maybe there's a little weight that is lifted right off your chest, your shoulders already. Let's take another breath in here together as you root down into your seat. Maybe grow just that little bit taller. Inhale fully. And a big exhale completely. Awesome, yogis. Let's start to open up your eyes. If they're closed, we'll let your fingertips fall down by your sides. So as you inhale here, let's stretch your arms all the way up and high towards the sky. Palms will come together. And your exhale, let's slide your thumbs right on down towards your heart. And again, palms will stay together here as you inhale, lift your fingertips straight back high. And your exhale, let's let your arms open back on up, down by your sides. We're gonna follow that a couple more times. So again, as you inhale, big breath in, stretch your arms all the way high together, palms touch. Exhale, let's slide your thumbs right on down towards your heart. And again, palms will stay together here as you inhale, lift your fingertips straight back high. Your exhale, they'll again open right back on up, down by your sides. One more time, just like that, yogis. Again, kind of following your own breath, your own pace. If you go a little bit quicker or slower than me, that's okay. Right, exhale, slide your hands right back on down to your heart center. Palms stay together once more as you inhale, lift your fingertips. You got it. Exhale, let your arms open right back on up. Yogis, let's leave your right hand kind of down by your right side as you stretch your left arm high as you take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let's reach your left fingertips kind of up and over towards that right side of your mat. So here, right, options right away. If it feels okay, you can take a look up, maybe towards your floating fingertips, right? Even bending that elbow a little bit. You can even take a gentle kind of rounding down if you want to take a glance down at your right hand instead. Anywhere along the way, right, is welcome too, right? Maybe you move through both of those kind of options, looking down, looking up. And if there's one spot, you're like, oh yeah, that's a really good stretch in my shoulder, my side bodies, right? Create some space right here. Right, take a full breath in. And we'll take another big breath out. Awesome. Yogis, press down into your right hand. Let's stretch your arms right back high. Both arms, breathe in. We're going to take a little twist over to the left on your exhale. So your right hand, maybe it reaches over to your left knee. If that feels super far, maybe it just kind of hangs out in the middle where your shins are, your feet. Your left hand behind you, kind of press down to grow that little bit taller again through your spine. And as you exhale, maybe take a glance over your left shoulder. If you're pregnant like me, this is an A-OK twist. Still kind of open. We're just getting a gentle rotation through your spine. But truly, again, take what feels just more comfortable here in your body. Yogis, another option as we stay in this twist for an extra moment, maybe your left ear softens down towards your left shoulder, and you can get a little extra stretch there into that right side of your neck. Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. If your ear has kind of lowered down towards your chest, let's pick it right back up. Yogis, 10 fingertips, both arms stretch right back high above you. Inhale. And exhale, slide your thumbs right on down towards your heart. So everything that we do on one side, we'll do it on the other side too. So set your left hand down by your left side. Let's take a big breath in as you stretch your right arm high. Breathe. And again, on your exhale, we'll take that familiar side stretch up and over towards the left. And just like we did on the other side, what feels good to you on this Saturday, right? Maybe you take a look up again towards your floating right fingertips. Maybe you take that glance down towards your left hand. Either way, hopefully, again, just a good stretch here. Maybe finding, again, a new little pocket in between your ribs that you can send your breath to. Take another long inhale. And your exhale. All right. Yogi's going to press down into your palms. Let's stretch your arms right back high. Take another in breath. And your exhale, we'll take that similar twist over towards the right. So again, if your left hand makes it over towards your right knee, great. If it feels better, kind of right again down towards your shins, that's perfect. Your right hand behind you, kind of press down into your fingertips to, again, grow some length into your spine. Take a long breath in. And your exhale will stay. Maybe take a glance over towards your right shoulder. And as we stay here for a couple of breaths, one more option. Maybe you let your right ear soften down towards your right shoulder. And see if that can create any extra kind of sensation stretch there into the left side of your neck. Maybe even pulling left shoulder down and away from your ears. Breathe in. And breathe out. Awesome. Yogis, chins will kind of lift again, back parallel here. Let's send again all 10 fingertips straight back high. Come back through center, breathe. And another exhale, slide your thumbs right on down towards your heart. Awesome, we're doing the yoga, right? Let's roll on over our knees, yogis. Come on over to your tabletop. So if you had a pillow, let's slide it on out of the way for now. And then make your way to your all fours here. So shoulders back to over your wrists. Kind of hips stacked right on over your knees. And as you take a look down at your fingers, your hands here, yogis, think like two big high fives already. So super spread wide through your fingertips and kind of pressing down into kind of knuckle points. So think pointer finger knuckle, middle finger knuckle. And as you do that, right, just kind of creating your foundation, your base here. And again, we're just going to move gently through our spine, yogi. So as you breathe in, a little dip into your belly, lift your gaze. It's your cow pose. And a gentle rounding. Let's take our favorite pose of class, right? Our cat pose, chin to chest. And send your shoulder blades towards the ceiling. And again, just like that, as you breathe in, that little dip into your belly, heart shines forward. And an exhale as you round into your spine. Again, kind of press the ground away as you tuck your chin, cat shape. If those feel good to you, yogis, maybe we take a couple more of those cow and cat shapes. But it truly in this moment, right, if those aren't so enjoyable or if you want to try anything different, maybe that's just a little kind of hip sway side to side. Maybe as you take your cat shape, you can kind of send your rib cage again to the left, to the right edge of your mat. Kind of stretching again through your side bodies. And even just kind of letting your neck, your jaw shake out side to side, right? Doesn't need to be any real names for the movement, but again, just kind of taking anything that feels good. Maybe you've got a little crack along the way like my hip just did, right? Enjoy it. And when you feel like you've moved enough, we'll start to kind of even out any of those shapes. Yogis, come back to your neutral tabletop. We're going to take our palms, walk them just about a handprint to the top edge of your mat. Let's tuck your toes behind you. And we're going to lift our hips to our first downward facing dog. So in your down dog, yogis, I'm going to say pedal out your feet. Think bend one knee, lengthen the other. And kind of do that on the other side too. So say let's straighten your right leg, bend your left knee, and then straighten into your left leg as you bend your right. Just kind of moving from those sides to side, acknowledging again kind of how maybe your heels, your toes are feeling. Acknowledge how your calves, kind of hamstrings are doing today. And when you feel like, again, you've kind of walked out your shape, we'll bring a little bit of stillness here too. So yogis, think those two high fives again, right at the top edge of your mat. Press down into your palms and lift your hips that little bit higher. And we say leave your gaze up kind of back at your toes or maybe to that spot kind of right in between your heels. Again, that may be a time where you can't quite see me and that's a-okay. Yogis, even that little bend, keep into your knees right here, right? Take another big breath in and take another complete breath out. Awesome. Yogis, we're gonna kind of roll like an ocean wave, roll forward to a plank pose, your top of a push-up. So shoulders back to over your wrists like in our tabletop, and then wiggle your toes maybe just that little bit back behind you. Right, this is a great place to be, right? Building some strength, some heat into your body. If you're like me, or just right, arms are feeling a little tired, right? There's no worries. Let your knees soften down to your mat. I fully support that. We're gonna take another breath in. And if you're pregnant like me, we're gonna stay up in this tabletop shape, but everybody else, let's shift slightly forward and lower all the way down to your belly. As you lower all the way on down to your belly, leave your hands right on underneath your shoulders. If you've got a little growing babe, again, maybe you stay in that tabletop and you kind of, again, roll through some cows and cats. If you're on your belly, yogis, lift your heart, lift your chest. We're going to take a little cobra pose. So kind of just lifting your crown of your head kind of off of your mat. And as you exhale, soften your forehead right back on down to your space. We're going to do that 2 more times just like that. So again, as you inhale, lift your heart to, again, that cobra. And your exhale will soften you right back on down to your mat. Once more, just like that. Breathe in, cobra pose. And your exhale, forehead softens lower. Yogis, everybody rise on up to a tabletop shape right here. And then for a moment, we're going to take a child's pose. So knees kind of wiggle wide, big toes towards touch. And shimmy your hips back towards your heels. Maybe your forehead rests on down to your mat. If your hips don't touch your heels, don't worry about it. If your forehead doesn't touch down and it more so hovers, that's a-okay. Right, yogis, take a full breath in and take a complete breath out. Awesome. Let's rise back on up to your tabletop, that all fours here. Yogis, tuck your toes and lift your hips to your downward facing dog, that downward V in shape. Maybe again, you pedal out your feet, again, kind of readjust your stance. Take another long inhale and a complete exhale. Yogis, take a glance up towards your fingertips and then lift your heels, bend your knees. We're gonna walk our feet up to the top edge of your space, as many little steps as you need. When you get there, let's hang out in that forward fold for a moment. So options, of course, feel free to grab for your elbows. Maybe you gently sway side to side. I'm going to say leave again that little bend into your knees. If this is too upside down, you can kind of let your elbows rest kind of up to the tops of your knees, your thighs, and still enjoy the benefits of being just slightly upside down. Yogis, gentle nod yes into your head. Maybe a shake out no into your neck. It's going to release any extra tension that may, again, still be being held somewhere. And then let your fingertips lower on down in the direction of your toes. Yogis, I like feet wide here, about hip width distance. Maybe yours are slightly wider. If you like big toes to touch, take what feels good today. Walk your hands up towards your knees, your shins for your halfway lift. So this big L shape in your body, kind of tailbone to the back of your room, crown of your head lengthens forward, right? Breathe in. And a big exhale again, forward fold, bring that bend slightly back into your knees, crown of your head heavy. Let's do that again. Inhale, as you walk your hands back up to your shins, long arms, long spine. And another big exhale, forward fold, let it go. We're gonna do that one more time. As you press again, palms back, head forward. Let's stay here for a moment. Take your hands, bring them up to your hips, and then slow and steady, right? We've been upside down for a moment. Take your time as you rise on up to stand. When you get there, stretch your arms all the way high towards the sky. Take a big breath in and hands to your heart center. Yogis, exhale. Let's stay here for a moment. Just kind of reorienting from being upside down to standing, right? Take a full breath in and another big breath out. Yogis, all of those little shapes that we just traveled through, we're going to tie them together here with our breath. So just following your own pace, But again, just taking it slowly here. Let's do it. As you inhale, let's stretch your arms all the way back high above you. In breath. Exhale, let's fold, right? Flat back, soft bend into your knees, lower down. Halfway lift on your inhale, that L shape. And as you exhale, let's plant your palms, step your feet back to a plank. And again, knees, they can lower down, right? As you inhale, let's shift forward. And maybe you lower all the way on down to your belly, or you stay in tabletop like me, right? One little cobra, yogis. As you inhale, lift your heart, lift your chest. And exhale, forehead softens right back on down to your mat. Yogis, everybody, strong arms, rise up to a tabletop, breathe in. And send your hips to your child's pose on your exhale, right? Hips to your heels. Forehead maybe softens. We're going to stay here for a full breath in and a complete breath out. Awesome. Come back up to your tabletop, right? Rocks you forward. Breathe. And tuck your toes on your exhale. Lift your hips back high to your downward facing dog. We'll take another long inhale and a complete exhale. And again, looking forward to your fingertips, yogis. Let's take a little walk on up to the top of your space. When you arrive, inhale to your halfway lift, that flat back. And exhale, let's fold. Stretch your arms all the way high to the sky. Breathe in, stand tall. And hands to your heart center as you exhale here. We're going to stay for a moment, yogis. Take a long breath in and take a complete breath out. And again, as we stay for a moment, right, kind of acknowledging again all of the shapes that your body's been able to carry you through. Maybe notice if your heart's beating a little bit more rapidly, maybe your breath's moving a bit more quickly, right? Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. Let's send your arms again all the way back high above you, yogis. Inhale. Exhale, let's fold again, lower all the way back on down. Maybe fingertips touch down to your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And yogis, here on your exhale, I'm going to say plant your palms. Our right foot's going to stay at the top. Can you step your left foot towards the back? And right away, as you take a look at your left foot, see if you can spin your left heel down. It's going to come parallel to the back edge of your mat. And then walk your hands up towards your right knee. We're going to open up to our warrior 2. So open up your arms to a big T shape. So our warrior 2, yogis, our right knee's going to stay bent, kind of right on over, same knee tracking right on over your heel, give or take, right? If it wants to lengthen out your back leg, right, up to you how much you want to leave that bend in your knee. And then reach along through your fingertips. Right? Maybe even that little kind of shrug into your shoulders here. Right? Take a full breath in, and we'll take another big breath out. Yogis, we're going to move a little bit in these shapes too. So let's straighten into your right leg. We're going to send again all 10 fingertips, maybe palms touch overhead. This is our high triangle shape. So take a big breath in. And on your exhale, let's press it right back down into your warrior 2. Let's do that 2 more times, just like that. So again, inhale as your right leg straightens everything, maybe touches overhead. Exhale, press it right back into your warrior 2. Gaze on over your right fingertips. Once more, just like that. Inhale. And your exhale. Let's stay right here in your warrior for an extra moment. Right? Take a full breath in and take a complete breath out. Yogis, right palm, let's flip it upside down so your palm faces towards the ceiling. We're going to reverse our warrior here. So it's a little tilt backwards. Maybe your left hand trails down your back left thigh, kind of like a high five for the back wall behind you, right? Just like that side stretch at the very beginning, can you fill up through your right side here? At the same time, yogis, how is that right leg doing? Right? If it's working super hard and it really wants to straighten, that's a great option, and I fully support it. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay here for one more inhale and your exhale. Yogis, arms back open to a T shape here. We're gonna bend your right knee if it's not already, and then cartwheel your hands right all the way down to frame your right foot, right? Tiptoes on your back left foot. Yogis, it may be super graceful, may not be the most graceful. Let's step that right foot back to your plank pose. And remember our little familiar flow from earlier. Maybe you let your knees lower down, shift forward, and we lower all the way down to your belly, right? Or stay in that tabletop as you take an inhale, lift your heart to a cobra or a little cow pose. And exhale, your forehead softens back on down to your mat, right? Rise on up, tabletop inhale. Take it back to your child's pose again for a moment. Hips to heels, fingertips crawl forward. Just a moment to hopefully feel a little bit of grounding after the movement, right? Breathe in and breathe out. Yogis, take it back to your tabletop rock forward, and then tuck your toes and again lift your hips to your downward facing dog. We'll stay there for another breath in and a complete breath out. Yogis, take a look on up to your fingertips. And again, we're going to take a walk, a step. Maybe you feel adventurous and you take a little hop on up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. And an exhale, we'll fold. Send your arms high to the sky, right? Root down to rise, arms lift. And hands to your heart center, yogis, on your exhale. Let's again stay here for a moment. And just like I said earlier, right, everything we do on one side, we're going to do it on the other side too. So acknowledge those few shapes. Let's try it out on the left, right? As you inhale, stretch your arms all the way high to the sky. And as you exhale, let's fold again, lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. And as you exhale, yogis, let's plant your palms. Your left foot's going to stay. And your right foot's going to step to the back edge of your mat. And when your right foot steps all the way back again, spin down your heel. It's going to pivot down. Toes will be parallel with the back of your mat. And then hands, they can walk up to your knee, and it's a big open up to your warrior two. I turn the other way just to open up towards you guys. You stay exactly whatever way you were facing before, right? And you can kind of take any little movements that you need to kind of settle into your shape, right? Maybe it's kind of moving through your shoulders. Maybe that left leg wants to kind of straighten. Maybe you get a little hip hop too, right? Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. And again, we're just going to kind of move a little bit with those few shapes, yogis. So legs towards straight. Let's send all, again, 10 fingertips. Maybe they touch overhead, right? Breathe in, kind of hug everything through center. And as you exhale, slide it right back to your warrior two. So knee bends, arms back to a T. Let's do that 2 more times with your breath, right? Biggest breath in as everything lengthens. And as you exhale, we'll settle right back into your warrior. Once more, just like that. Inhale, maybe it's that little pause at the top. And exhale, we'll settle back to that warrior two. And we'll stay here for a moment. Right, breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. Yogis, left palm, let's flip it upside down. And again, it's that little tilt back, our reverse warrior. Right hand again kind of trails down your back right thigh. Left palm again, almost kind of high fives behind you. Similar side stretch into your left side. Find a new little pocket to send your breath. How's that left leg doing, yogis? Maybe it gets us straightened for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. You got it. Arms will come back to a T. Let's bend back into your knee for a moment. And then again, cartwheel your hands down to meet your mat. Tiptoes on your back right. And again, we're going to step that left foot back, however it gets there, to your plank pose. And again, we can take this flow if you'd like. Right knees, they can lower down as you inhale. So that little shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Or you can stay in cobra or your tabletop like me. Right? Inhale, lift your heart to that cobra pose. Just that little lift of your chest. And exhale, your forehead softens right back on down. Rise back on up to your tabletop, all fours. And again, a moment in a child's pose. Hips towards your heels as your forehead softens in the direction of your mat. Breathe in and find just one spot to soften as you breathe out. Let's take it back on up to your tabletop, yogis. Inhale and tuck your toes on your exhale, downward facing dog. As your hips rise high, it's this downward V shape. And maybe it's a pedal out into your feet for a moment. Kind of adjust your stance. And take another long inhale and a complete exhale. Look again forward to your fingertips, yogis. It's a walk, it's the step. Maybe you take a little hop on up to the top. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Exhale, let's fold. Send your arms high to the sky. Breathe in, stand tall. And hands to your heart center, yogis, on your exhale. And we'll stay here again for a moment. Option to bring your eyes to a close. Maybe your hands stay at your heart, or again, maybe hand to heart, even hand to belly. And again, acknowledging all of the shapes that your body's been able to carry you through. And check in with your heart, check in with your breath, check in with this energy that again may be moving a little bit more rapidly through your body. Take a full breath in and another big breath out. Awesome. If your eyes are closed, yogis, let's open them here and then bring your hands back towards your heart. Cool. I'm going to say wiggle your toes towards touch underneath you. We're going to do a little standing balance. So maybe acknowledge if there's a wall or something, just to kind of tap your way on back, or careful if there's a critter, a four-legged little friend nearby, just so we don't give them a little tap, right? Let's leave your left leg super strong and straight here. Yogis, bend your right knee. Let's flare your right knee towards the side. Option number one, leave your heel right on your ankle here. Option number two, maybe your foot kind of scooches up your calf. Careful of your knee, just because we don't want it to go right in a direction that it shouldn't be going. Okay? Or maybe your hands kind of helps support your foot all the way up into your upper thigh. Right? All options are great. And again, if there's a little wall just to kind of help with support, use it. Hands, they can stay at your heart center for your tree pose. Or maybe arms, your branches decide to grow. I'd say bring your gaze on something that's steady, that's not quite moving. So maybe not me for a moment. If there's a little wobbly, if it's windy inside today, right, it's okay. If your toes touch down, there's no worries, no judgment. Breathe in, grow tall. And breathe out. Awesome. If your arms have grown, yogis, let's bring them back towards your heart. Let's flare your right knee forward. Maybe give your ankle a little shake out and then touch it back on down if it's not already, right? And then shake out that left side too. And then shake out your fingertips too. And let go of any extra energy. Just kind of shake it out, right? And again, we're just going to do that on the other side as well. So leave your right leg super strong. Let's bend into your left knee and flare that one wide. So again, heel can stay right on your ankle. Maybe foot slowly kind of scooches somewhere up your super strong base leg. If it falls out, don't assign any meaning to that. And we try it again. Right, grow your roots. Feel your toes working hard to hold you down. Grow tall, and maybe your branches expand. Breathe in, and yogis, breathe out. Stay here for one more inhale, and your exhale. Awesome, yogis. Guide your hands back towards your heart. Flare your knee again back forward. Maybe before it touches down, it again gets a little shake out. And then touch down your left toes and again give that right leg a little shimmy, shake it out. Same with your fingertips, right? And then just like the beginning, lift your shoulders all the way on up by your ears. Take a big breath in and an even bigger exhale. Right? Shoot that energy right on out of your fingertips. Do that again. Breathe in, lift your shoulders. And a big exhale. Great job. Send your arms all the way back high above you, yogis. Inhale. Exhale, let's fold. Come all the way on down to your mat. Halfway lift again on your in-breath. And as you exhale, yogis, we're going to plant your palms. Step again your feet back towards the back edge of your mat. Right away, let your knees lower down to a tabletop. Tabletop, yogis, we're going to take a seat. So legs around towards the front edge of your mat. And then make sure you have some room behind you. So scooch up towards the top. This is where my shapes, again, will look slightly different than yours. One, if you want to grab a sip of water, now is a good time. Because we're going to come all the way on down to your backs for the last little bit. So once you lower on down to your back, option to give your knees a hug in towards your chest. If, again, you're pregnant like me, right? I would say stay there for just a moment. You're welcome to do the neck shapes. And then I'll kind of tell you again other options along the way. So yogis, let's stamp your feet down onto your mat. We're going to do one bridge pose here. So as you press down into your feet, think knees over heels. And before even going anywhere, yogis, I want you to leave your gaze straight towards the ceiling above. So again, if you can't quite see me, that's a-okay. Just leave your gaze straight on above you, just protecting kind of your neck here. As you press down into your palms and your heels, yogis, lift your hips to that bridge pose. So hips rise high towards the ceiling, right? Chest towards your chin. But again, chin stays steady as you take a full breath in and you take a complete breath out. Option to interlace your fingertips kind of right on underneath your tailbone as you press down and again, hips rise. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, let your hips lower on down towards your mat. Option to sway your knees gently side to side. If you're along your pregnancy journey with me here, yogis, I'm going to say roll over onto one side and we'll stay there for a moment. And then again, if you're pregnant, let's press on up to a seat. We're going to do the rest seated. If you're perfectly comfortable on your back, yogis, you are going to stay there for the rest of class. So yogis that are on your back, if your knees are still swaying, let's bring them to a pause. If you're seated up with me, I'd say grab again that pillow just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. Yogis that are down on your mat, let's stamp your left foot down onto your mat. We're going to cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. So we're going to make a little figure 4 shape. If you're seated like me, or if this just feels better to you while seated, send your left leg all the way long, and we'll make that same figure 4 shape here. I'm going to readjust my screen. If you're on your backs, yogis, great place to be, great place to hang out right there. If you want to take it further, you can interlace your fingertips behind your left thigh, same if you're seated, and either float your left heel or kind of scoot your left heel in a little bit closer. Yogis, whatever figure 4 shape you're in, see if you can still let your shoulders soften down onto your mat if you're on your back. And either seated or laying down, even a little tuck in, chin towards your chest. See if you can lengthen through the back of your neck. Maybe even it's the tiniest little sway into your knees, your hips side to side. Can you continue to breathe and let your breath move freely through your body? And stay where you're at for your exhale. Yogis, if you are on your back and you have that interlace, let your left foot lower back on down to your mat. I'm going to do everything that's on your back first. So let your left leg stamp down, unhook your right ankle, keep your right knee into your chest, and you're going to extend your left leg to the top edge of your mat. So if you're on your back, right knee in, left leg goes long, and you're going to take your twist as you guide your knee across your body towards the left, your supine twist. If you're seated like I am, left leg still goes straight, right foot stamps down to your mat, and we're just going to take kind of like a little twist, same over to the left. Maybe right hand kind of holds on again to your right foot. Just again, that gentle open rotation. Yogis, if you're on your back, see if you can soften your shoulders back on down towards your mat. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. And as you inhale, right, stay in that shape. As you exhale, just find one more spot to soften. You got it. And if you're on your back, let's take your right knee, slide it back across your body, and then stamp both feet back on down towards your mat. As we acknowledge all of, again, those shapes from the right side, we're going to do it again on the left. So same if you're in a seat with me. If you're on your back, right foot's going to stay stamped, and then cross your left ankle on top of your right knee. Let's make that similar figure 4. And I say similar because it's right the same shape, but knowing side to side, things may feel different. right? Stay right where you're at with that figure 4, or option to interlace your fingertips kind of around your right thigh. And if you're on your back, maybe your right heel floats. If you're seated like me, maybe your right knee just bends a little bit. You can, again, take it a little bit further. Maybe that means a little lean back. If your breath gets shallow, 1, acknowledge that. 2, maybe you come out of the pose just a little bit. See if, again, you can soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Take another big breath in and a complete breath out. If you have an interlace behind your right leg, yogis, let's right your right foot lower down, or, and it extends. If you're on your back, yogis, let's unhook that left foot. For a moment, keep your left knee into your chest. Your right leg's gonna extend long to the top edge of your mat, both kind of seated or if you're on your back. If you're on your back, yogis, let's take your left knee, guide it across your body all the way over towards the right, kind of stacking your hips along the way, right? Arms, they can open up to a T shape, to a goalpost shape, depending on kind of space around you. Maybe there's a wall, maybe again, there's a four-legged furry friend nearby that you gotta navigate your space around, right? Because we always accommodate their needs usually over ours, and maybe that's just me, okay? If you're seated like me, again, left foot can stay stamped. Maybe left hand holds on to your left foot and you take that little rotation towards the right, a gentle twist. Stay here again for another long breath in and a complete breath out. And yogis, left knee will come back across your body. As you stamp again, kind of both feet down onto your mat. Maybe kind of scooching your hips back towards the center if it feels like they came off center in your twist a moment ago. And yogis, if you're on your back, give your knees a hug in towards your chest. Maybe you take any last little kind of rock sway side to side. Maybe there's a happy baby in your vision, right? Knees wide, feet towards the ceiling, and you take a little sway side to side. And then give your knees a hug in towards your chest, yogis. Maybe your forehead comes up to join that little shape, right? It's a tiny little ball as you give yourself the biggest hug. And when you're ready, exhale and take up space on your mat. So if you're, again, kind of pregnant like me, I shouldn't say kind of, if you are pregnant like me, right, you can still set up for your Shavasana. Everybody find that comfortable spot that works for you. Right, if you want to lay with your legs all the way long in front of you, I fully support that. Yogis, if you're feeling any tightness in your low back, I'd say stamp your feet down to your mat, knees point high towards the ceiling. Just gently knock your knees to touch. Maybe that helps. If you prefer to lay on your side, right, go for it. Yogis, find a comfortable position so that you can rest for a few moments. Right, your Shavasana, maybe this is your favorite pose, maybe this is what you've been waiting for this whole time. Wherever you're at, right, maybe let your heels just kind of melt into your mat. Maybe your shoulders snuggle underneath your back body. Maybe you hear sounds of my side of Chicago going on around us. Maybe you hear sounds of your own home as well. But see if you can close your eyes and see if you can soften your jaw, your forehead center. Knowing, yogis, that I will wake you, I promise. I'll let you know when the time is ready. But see if you can stay here. Take another big breath in. See if you can fill up your belly, fill up into your lungs, fill up all the way into your heart. Inhale. And a big open mouth exhale. We're going to rest for a few moments here in your Shavasana. And yogis, if you would like to stay right where you're at, right, please do so. Enjoy this moment. If you're ready to move, or there's, again, sounds of things around you and your attention's been called elsewhere, right? 1, no judgment. 2, let's start to just acknowledge 1, maybe your breath. Maybe even noticing if just a moment ago you didn't even notice that your breath was there. Start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes. Maybe even your neck and your jaw rock side to side. Bigger movements, you can roll around your wrists, maybe extend your arms long overhead. Take this big, good Saturday, Catterday. Stretch in, arms long, toes forward. And then exhale as you hug your knees back into your chest. Yogis, we're gonna roll to one side, your left, your right, your choice. Just this little ball for a moment. And then use your super strong arms to press your way on up to a seat. And when you make your way to a seat, again, eyes, they can stay closed, or again, just that soft gaze, kind of right on up the tip of your nose. I'm going to say, bring your hands to touch in front of your hearts. If that feels comfortable, let your thumbs rest into your chest center. And yogis, even though we can't all hear each other, knowing that we're doing it together, let's take a communal last breath together. So first, kind of exhale that stale air still left in your belly. And as you root down into your seat, grow just that little bit taller. Take a big, deep breath in. And an open mouth shared breath out. Option, lift your thumbs up to your third eye center. Give that spot a little press. Yogis, the light and love within me honors and bows So that lights and love within inside of each of you and your furry little friends too. Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging with me. Take your time getting up, moving around. I see Nadia's back, so you can send a little message in there. Let me know how you're doing, but I'll be here to chat.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I hope you feel as relaxed and as happy and as ready to continue or start the day, depending on where you are. Again, this was a Feeling Good monthly yoga and cats class. Sometimes Caitlin's two cats make an appearance. I had my little dog here, and we loved seeing all of your comments with your cats and your cats' names. This is organized by Basepaws, and we're super happy to have you here. And there was almost 200 people signed up, and you will all get an email where you can rewatch this yoga class at any time. It's going to live on our YouTube channel. That's it. And if you want to contact Caitlin, she does offer private classes at caitlinkoloski.com. And thank you for donating. Ooh, your ticket proceeds will be all donated to the Catcade, which is a cat cafe and lounge in Chicago.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Again, sorry, cats do what they want to do, as I'm sure each and every one of you know. So mine are probably sleeping somewhere comfy, cozy. But thanks again. Awesome. I love all of the comments. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Yeah, as Nadia mentioned, that was my website. Instagram is just Caitlin Kloski Yoga. Yeah, I'll be teaching as long as I can until this little babe comes along the way. But yeah, happy to help. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Caitlin. And for everyone who's interested, follow us on Facebook and on Eventbrite, because we do have another yoga class scheduled for June 12th with our other yoga instructor and actually a registered veterinary technician, Rachel. So she'll be leading that with her cat, and she also has 2 dogs. And at the end of this month, we are hosting a wonderful webinar on pets and cancer, talking about the emotional and physical aspects, medical aspects of dealing with a pet that has cancer, what your options are, where you can get financial help, where you can get emotional support. So hope you guys can all join us, and thank you, and have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.